It's time. Hey.
Zanny, you can hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you. I was just telling them those are the sad and unfortunate things we have to go through when we have to do things virtually. Thanks. But it's okay. We're good now.
Yeah, I was in the backyard in the macaroni section. It ain't really got me. service like that. You know,
First, I want to tell you thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to sit and chat with us today. I know it's a million other things you could be doing right now, but I really appreciate you taking the time to chop it over with us, okay?
Shiggity.
All right, so tell us how you started off, because Rydes N Vybes is mostly surrounded by people in the car culture and people who are into cars, but also you have a very interesting story, and I do want to get to that. So I'll start off with one of my questions or a couple of my questions, and then I'll get right into the fans' questions, okay?
All right. Let me sit down right quick. You can see me good enough?
Yeah, I can see you. Mm-hmm.
I just dropped my phone earlier. I got to go see about getting a new one of these some bitches. But,
yeah, I can see you.
But yeah, what the question was?
Okay, so tell us how you got started being into cars and into the car culture.
Well, man, that's a good question. So really, I always been into old schools and stuff like that ever since I was a little boy, legit. Ever since I'm from Jacksonville, so you know, box Chevys, they big down there, donks and all that. But I just feel like ever since I was a little bitty boy, I used to love cars, real old school cars. I never really been into newer cars, but
right.
I used to take my mom and them fingernail polish. I paint the little cars and everything, just trying to get them things twerking.
So your mom was upset because you used to be stealing her fingernail polish?
I feel like she probably was at first, but then they knew how I was coming, so it went they just got over that shit. He gonna take his car apart, he gonna paint them, he gonna do whatever he wants to.
Right. So fast forward, as a child, you were doing that. And so you also, did you play football as a little child?
Yes, I did for sure. My first year was 1999, Justina Wildcats.
Mm-hmm. Justina? Oh my goodness. You was in the hood.
You familiar?
You know what I got to say about the hood, though? The hood created some great football players, some great athletes, and just great all-around people in general.
I feel like, like you said, there's a lot of great people come from the hood, but it just had that negative connotation that comes with it. But it's like myself, I'm not no thug or no gangster, but I knew how to survive in my elements and do what was necessary type stuff. So a lot of people really just be products of their environment. But yeah, so it's shit. I probably went to middle school with 2-3 people that went to the NFL. So we had
So then going to middle school, you were playing ball as a kid, and then you played ball in middle school. What middle school you go to?
I went to Fort Caroline Middle School.
Oh, so you stayed on that side.
Oh yeah, straight south side, baby. You feel me?
And then high school. What high school?
I went to Terry Park for probably about I want to say maybe less than a good month. Then we came.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But yeah, I went to Terry Park for about a good month.
Mm-hmm.
And I finished 9th grade in Valdosta, Georgia. I had some family up there who was going through some shit, some poverty type situation. So we had this place. So I finished out my 9th grade year in Valdosta, Georgia. And then we moved to Texas, Houston. My mom was from Houston. So, we had to come back to Houston. Well, I never come back, but she was coming back. So we get on our feet and stuff like that. So I've been out here ever since.
Right. So going through school, you played ball. So tell us about college. So did you go to college, or did you just go straight to the pro?
Nah, I don't even think you could do that for real. Unless you...
Oh, listen, all the things they do now, you see them boys in college.
Yeah, I feel like they starting to have AAU football now. But I went to the Texas. I'm finna say the wrong college. I went to the University of Texas at El Paso, Utah. Some people might be familiar with it. Some people might not be.
Right.
But it was an all right situation. We had some we had some tricky seasons. So I can't, I went up there of course I went up there to get my education, but I went up there to play football as well. And doggone, we ain't had too many winning seasons, so that kind of jaded my view of just being.
Right. So over all that time, are you still into the cars? What are you doing? What are you driving at this point? What we got going on with the cars?
For shit show. My first car. So before I even get into that, all right. So, in high school, I didn't have a car. I didn't have a job license. I mean, I probably could have brought me a car if I would have just really been thinking about it because I had a job. But I used to go to the little computer lab, print out a bunch of like how they used to have those car magazines and car websites, like
right.
I can't even think of none of the names right now, but they had the cars in there. I used to print them out and post them all over my room on the walls and everything. But to answer your question, yeah, my first car was an '84 box Chevy Caprice. I had got that mug, I think, probably like my second year in college. Shout out to my dog, Jamie, my roommate up there. We had just got our scholarship checks. I mean, what's that mug called? When you get your, it's some type of little, like, Pell Grant or something, like, they give you that money. And, man, I had enough. I almost had enough. But my dog let me borrow a little bit more so I can go grab the Chevy. And
now that's a real friend.
Yeah.
Now that's a real friend.
Every time I still talk to that about this day. Like every time I randomly bring that shit up, cause that was real. Cause I wanted that car so bad, like.
Right.
But yeah, I was in a box Chevy, and I got a story about that car too. Typical scenario.
So y'all financial aid check. So y'all,
right. That's what it's called. I couldn't even think of the bar.
So you in college, and now you got the box Chevy.
Right.
And you're playing ball. So tell us about moving on to finding out that going to the NFL. Because I guess when you guys play football, everybody has aspirations of going to the NFL, right?
I want to say yes, but also not really because that wasn't ever really my angle. When it came to sports, I kind of was just, it's something I knew how to do and was able to do it, so I kept doing it as long as I could, or as long as I wanted to, actually. But so in high school, it was more so like I was playing ball, then I was getting a few little scholarship offers here and there. Then I was like, okay, damn, well, I can go to college now. So I went to the college, played ball and shit. Then they started talking about, well, shit, you got a chance to go to that league. Then it was like, shit, well, let's see what happened. And then, that more, it did what it did, and it was a cool little scenario.
So tell us about when you made it to the NFL. Were you like, have you ever sat down? I asked a few of the guys this when they come on the show. Have you ever sat down and looked at where you came from and looked at your life now and were like, oh, wow.
I'm trying to fix the camera. I got to be able to see my ops if they come in. But, I think I look back and think about those times all the time because, for one, when we had to leave Florida, that really broke my heart because I never, you from Jacksonville, you know how it is. Like, I plan on being a Duval County, Florida boy my whole life, so it's like I ain't never even see myself really trying to leave the city ever. But, I look back at it sometimes and I just be like, God knew what he was doing, and everything worked out pretty well. But I try not to I reflect a little bit every once in a while, but I try not to even get on that too much because I'm always in the mind frame. I'm trying to figure out what's next or what can I do next to keep myself motivated and keep moving and stuff. Right.
So, making it to the NFL, now you're in the NFL, you're playing ball. You still into the cars? What's going on with the cars now?
Yeah, for sure.
Now you got money. So now the car is different.
Right. So my rookie year, actually, I actually played for Jacksonville my rookie year, and I had a Crown Vic. Because after I ain't tell you the story about what happened to the box Chevy, but I ended up getting a Crown Vic like my senior year of college, and that mug was holding on strong, but that money started getting in my pocket. It started itching a little bit.
You was like, I can't drive a Crown Vic. I'm in the NFL.
It wasn't even that. It's just you know, when you in your little slab, man, it be little stuff that's wrong with it, and he be like, man, I just need to give me something more reliable. So that's what I did. I went and got like a little Challenger. They was hot at the time. I mean, I feel like they still crunk now, but you know, they were really crunk like in 2012, 11. But yeah, I was still into the cars, but you know, being young and well, for one, I went undrafted. I signed as a free agent, so you know, you got to get that shit out the mud that first year, the first few years actually. So like, I really couldn't play around with that money too much early on in my career. So it was just like I had ideas about what I wanted to do with things, but I just had to you know, stay tucked right quick.
So let me ask you a question. Being that you talked about how you really can't run through your money, do you think this is really unrelated to cars, but it is a relevant question? Do you think that when guys go into the league, the league should maybe have someone to teach them about finances?
Well, they do have all of these. They do have all of those classes, and they have all type of seminars and things like that. Even your rookie year, you have like these like courses that you take after practice, after meetings. Somebody gonna come in there, talk to you about other life skills, life events, and things like that. But sometimes I feel like that type of shit ain't resonate with a lot of people. A lot of things don't resonate until you experience them yourself, for the most part.
Right.
So I mean, those things are available to guys, but you know, it just depends on who they are if they're gonna take heed to it. But I will say this: see, me, I was the first person in my family, as far as I know, to reach that type of level in sports and things like that. So it's a lot of things that I really had to learn on my own, as far as just how to make it and navigate through that type of lifestyle.
Right. So you're in the NFL, you playing. So then you leave, you retire, you're out of the NFL. Tell us what happened after that. It sounds like, I think this is when you got, in my head, this is when you got heavily into the cars, but I'm going to let you tell the story.
Where you want me to start from? Because this shit get kind of heavy now.
Okay, go ahead. I'm going to let you talk.
Nah, so like I said, early on, like even in high school and stuff, I was just playing football just because that's what I knew how to do. I mean, I feel like I was pretty decent at it, well at it. So I just kept going with it. But as I got older, I started to realize that I didn't really just love sports as much as my peers. So it really just went, like, I knew for a fact that wasn't my purpose in life. It wasn't the only thing. First of all, you don't play sports that long anyway. Even if you have a 10-year career, you still probably going to be 32 years old or something, which is a very young human still. But I knew that wasn't going to be my only thing in life that I needed to do, so that distracted me. But now, what the question was again?
So tell us about moving out of the NFL, and when did the car situation start to come about? Right, you said you didn't really love football as much as everybody else. Right.
Oh, that's what I meant to say. So I would say probably, cause I'm gonna just tell you everything. Fuck it, we don't.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
On the situation, but so I'll say about 3 years in, I started dealing with injuries, off the field issues, just everything that that come with life in general, and that shit really just started putting me in dark places as far as depression, anxiety, mental health, and shit like that. And either my third or fourth year, I was thinking about retiring then, but I was just like, let me see things through. Let me see how I feel. Let me see if I can change how I feel about shit. And I stuck it out for 2 more years. And going into my 6th year, I signed with the Giants, and I had went to like mini camp and all that type of stuff. Getting acclimated with the team, but I still couldn't shake that feeling.
Right.
And so, in the summer, right before it was time to report to training camp, I called like the coaches and everything, and I was just like, it's a certain thing I want to get squared away in my life, and just focus on me. I feel like I'm gonna retire, and just me seeing how the business works sometimes in football, I thought it was just gonna be like, well, shit, good luck, nigga. We wish the best for you type of situation. But,
right.
Surprisingly, they was like, what? it's kind of like they would talk to me crazy, like, you can't be serious, bro. Like, you still got so much potential left. You still got this and that left in the tank, man. We see you being a great player for us. Just come up here and talk to whoever you need to talk to, and, we'll get it squared away. And that kind of made me happy, and I felt the love. I felt wanted. So, I took my ass over to the training camp, and I was performing pretty well. I was pretty sure I was going to make the team, but I still couldn't shake that feeling. Got to the point where the good players and the bad players felt the same to me. So I was just like, I just decided, like, shit. I just woke up. It was after, like, the second preseason game. We had a day off. I just woke up and fucking booked it. Took a trip to the crib, like, I'm straight off of this. Which was unprofessional, but at the end of the day, I'm always put myself first. So, I've since then talked to a lot of those coaches, a lot of those teammates and shit. But it's like, at the end of the day, you got to put yourself first. Your mental health, everything else that comes with you. Because if I'm not the best version of myself, I have children, I have family. I got to be the best I can be.
Right.
To fast forward, it took me a little while to get acclimated and honed in on, what directions I was going to take after football. But I will say this. Like I said, at first I had to save my money. Well, not at first. I mean, you always got to save your money. But at first, like I said, when I first got in the league, I really wasn't into the cars. Well, not into the cars, but I wasn't spending money on cars. But as my career progressed and, I started making a little bit more money, I had a little bit of extra change to throw around. And, I was getting cars here and there. I had got a 76 Caprice that I still have. That's sitting up on the lot right now that I'll probably never sell that. It got a
No, that's worth because when you get ready to sell that thing,
that's the
them
thing.
boys want to dump.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's the thing. It's a photo though, but the thing is, I done put so much money into that over the years, and just in order for me to even sell it, I just gotta gut it. It's gonna just be the frame or something.
Right.
But what kind of got me back into the cars? Because I always been into the cars, but the guy that I had doing all of my cars over the years, I had like 6 cars sitting up on his lot. Some of them just sitting, some of them needed to be finished and things like this. And he had finally hit me one day, and he was like, "Bro, I'm about to get out of it," type shit by the state or whatever. So I need you to come get some of these cars. And I was like, I didn't really have no plans what I was gonna do. So I was like, man, fuck it. I put some up for sale and I sold them, and I was just like, man. It kind of, once I started getting a lot more extra free time, I kind of just was like, shit, it wasn't too hard to sell those cars. It ain't too hard to find. It wasn't ever too hard to find cars in the past and fix them up and do my thing with them. So that's what I kind of started doing. That's what kind of like propelled me into getting back into it. And then once I kind of got into it, I kind of started learning more of the ins and outs of the car game, the business aspect of it, building networks, building relationships and things like that. So that's kind of how that came about. If that's the question, I be going all different directions and shit.
No, you did a good job with that. It was a good timeline. So tell us what year you left the NFL.
Ooh, child, I don't even remember. Nah, let me stop. I want to say it was going into the 2017 season.
Mm-hmm. So that was recent.
I'll say that's what it is.
Dang.
So that's probably about, 4 or 5 years now? 4 years?
Dang, that's just recent. I would have thought it would have been a lot longer ago.
Nah, it was pretty recent. But I mean, time goes by fast. 'Cause I mean, it felt like it just happened. But like I said, now it's been 4 years, and sometimes I feel like I ain't never even played football before. Like that shit so like long ago. So
then fast forward to these. I don't know if you can see me, but these.
Right. Ooh, she got them. That's
so 3 books, all in what? Less than a year?
Probably a little over a year. Probably like 12. Nah, probably like, because 12 is a year. Probably like 14, 15 months type of deal. You know how people basically.
So what made you decide to write books?
Well, that was always a passion of mine, even like in school and stuff. That was probably one of my best subjects as far as just English and writing, because people get it fucked up because I talk with a certain dialect because I'm from the South, and I'm gonna come however I'm coming, but I always been good at writing. So I can write very well. So that just always was a hobby of mine, and even early in the NFL, like one of my English.
She said she needs their books in her store. She'll hit you up.
Oh yeah, facts. We could do all that. But one of my teachers from high school, when I first got to the league, she used to send me journals, and she would be like, keep writing out your thoughts, keep writing, and just, keep doing what you're doing. And it took me a while because I ain't got so busy with, like, just trying to play ball and live and shit. But life. So I finally got back around to just getting in those journals, writing out my thoughts and stuff like that. So that's where the 55 affirmations and thoughts of everyday life came from. Those are.
So this was the first one? This is the first book? That's
the second one, but I couldn't go in chronological order because my dad took my story somewhere else. That's the first children's book right there, and that's actually a real story. I mean, I don't know if I should tell the story if people gonna buy it or not.
Nah, don't tell the story. Let them get the book and read it.
That's a true story from my childhood, stemming from how I started playing football and kind of like the process of it and stuff like that. So it's definitely a true story.
Yeah, so I read the book, and now mind you, it's been years since I read a children's book. My child is old.
Right.
It's been years since I read a children's book, but it's actually a good book. I was like, oh, look at the picture of him and his mom.
Right. For sure. We was on Justin the Road with it.
Oh man, it's good to look at pictures of you as a child, pictures of you in the NFL. So you wrote this one first.
I wrote that book first.
Then what came next?
Actually, the day that book released, probably that same night or the night before, I was up late at night because I have crazy sleep pattern, and I work best, like, I be alive at night. Like, that's when I do my best.
You're a vampire.
Right. So, probably a day or two after that first book release, I finished the second story, which is not even out yet. So, it's crazy how things happen, how things get released and stuff, but it's just some of the logistics that need to be ironed and squared away with that. But, hold on.
So the second book is a follow-up to this one?
The second, yes, it's a part of that series as far as the whole Lil Zilla series. And that story really tackles gun safety. I'll just leave it at that. It tackles gun safety, but I had to get some things ironed out with my illustrator and stuff like that. So it'll be
statute of limitations and stuff like that.
Right. So it'll be ironed out pretty soon, but it was actually supposed to have been out. But I'll be working on multiple things at one time. So whatever gets done first is what's coming. So technically, that was the second book, but what was released second was the book of affirmations.
Okay. So now listen, as being a car girl, I went through this book, this third one, the coloring book.
Right.
And I could name 95% of these cars.
Right.
Probably the whole 100%. So let me show y'all. Like I really fully plan to color in this coloring book. I'm definitely gonna do it. I just didn't want to do it until I showed you guys. But this book really made me happy as a car girl. So it's got just vintage cars, like old school cars, for you to color. You can put all your own stuff on it. Look, now look, y'all know y'all see the dunk?
Oh yeah, I had to do that.
I was like, he got a dunk in here.
My thing is, like, people was I'm finna try to. It's starting to rain. You had a little hurricane scare, but I'm gonna go in the backyard. But
a short bed.
A lot of those cars are actually like some of my past projects, some of my future projects, kind of like dream cars and things like that. But I wanted to have like a variety in there because I feel like even going back to my childhood, I can't just remember having a coloring book for just classic cars like that. Even just like, from different, because with the car culture, it's so many like different communities and just clubs and things like that. So I kind of try to tap in with a little bit of every type of car.
Hey, so look, I'm a G-body girl. This is what I'm working on now. This is what I got coming. So, yeah. So when I saw this, I was like, oh, man. I just got to put me some rims on there.
Oh, yeah. I think I seen it on your page. Was it the, I don't want to say the wrong color. I think it might have been a blue one.
No, that's my homegirl. It's a whole community of girls up here with G bodies. It's really getting popular for women all over the country. Women got some bad cars. Right. I don't know if I'm talking about like bad old school. Now you know they got they new school cars, right. But I'm talking about old schools. Girl, them girls got some of the baddest old school cars it is. We can get them boys a run for their money.
Nah, they do, and you know, a lot of people be hating, but anybody who knows something for real, they gonna respect that because they see how people coming. They know that's real deal.
Right.
Like, people who don't know shit, they just look and say, that's a woman. But anybody who know about them car for real, they like, oh, she having shit. You feel me? Like,
right.
Hey.
So you said what made you write the books? Now you was having more time. You was having.
Well, yeah, I was just having more time, having more free time to just tap into my hobbies and just see, you know, what I can make out of them. You know, like I said, I never felt like football was my purpose in life. And, you know, at the time, I was probably late 20s, early 30 or whatever. So I was just like, you know, that's a critical moment not to really know what your passion is and your purpose in life is. So I was just like, shit, I'm going to attack all of my hobbies and see what I can make out of them and just go from there. So it's just like, at this point, I couldn't leave no stone unturned.
I'm going to tell you what's the most impressive about the story. Not that you played in the NFL, not any other stuff. The most impressive thing to me is because we don't know each other personally, but the most impressive thing to me was when you figured out that wasn't what you wanted with your life. No matter how much money you was making, you was done.
Right. Because I mean, I was playing that more. I was playing football because, like I said, I was good enough to make it, and it was fun at times. And it was, to me, it wasn't never about no money, no glitz, and no glams, or nothing like that. So I know plenty of people who, you know, playing right now who really just not in love with the game no more, but they sticking around for whatever reason, whether it be not motivation, monetary reasons, or they love the lifestyle that come with it. But with me, I ain't care about none of that shit. So it's just like I said, I'm always put me first and my happiness first. So I'm like, shit, once that went south for me, I'm like, it's time for me to go figure out what's next.
So tell us, you also have a clothing line?
I do. I don't know if you can see it. Oh yeah, this is one of the logos, Freezilla.
Okay.
Yeah, that's one of the logos. Right, I got a few different like logos with it, but yeah, it's called Freezilla Apparel, and the whole Freezilla thing is like a slogan. Cause I put it like on all my pictures and shit like that. But it comes from my time, my days of playing football, because it was just like a slogan and a mentality that I would put in my head, where I would just be like, you know, the free part really means just go out there on the field, do your shit, be yourself, you know, reach down deep into yourself and do what you need to do out there. Right.
So what most impressed me, like I said, was the fact that you was willing to walk away, because like I said, we don't know each other personally, but May 11th of this year, I walked away from my corporate job of 16 years.
Right.
Not really having an idea what I was going to do. I was like, okay, I've been doing so much in the car culture. This is what I love. So I'm going to walk away. Now, everybody thought I was crazy. I'm making great money working for a Fortune 500, a bank, doing like making great money. And everybody was like, oh, you crazy. You just going to walk away? I was like, I'm not happy. I can't be one of those people that leaves the earth and I never got the opportunity to be happy in my life.
Right. Well, I will say this. For one, a lot of people be scared to make decisions like that. You know, whether it's because of financial security, they don't want to do this and whoop. Like, for me, I'm a man of faith. So I'm like, like I said, I'm going to choose my happiness first and I'm going to figure that shit out. I know I've been a hustler my whole life. I know how to get to it. So I wasn't concerned about none of that. You feel me? But right. A lot of people just be scared. They can't understand, you know, the thinking process that goes into that, because, you know, they never thought of no shit like that. But anybody is really like, hold on, but I feel where you're coming from, because you gotta pick yourself first.
Like I was making, listen, I know it had to be hard for you because I was making great money and I was just working at the bank. But you was making money. You was in the NFL. So I know you was like, was people like, what in the heck?
I I feel like probably people who didn't know me, they probably just like, damn, he tripping. But anybody who knew me knew, like, they respect how I'm coming, they respect how I think, respect my mind, so they know if I did some shit like that, I had to have a great reason to do it, which I did, which is the theme of this shit is picking myself, and that's what I chose to do. But all of my close people, they weren't fucked up about it because they knew I had some shit on my mind.
Yeah, because people, she's absolutely right. People will talk fear into your dreams. When you have dreams of doing stuff, people will talk the fear of God into you. Like, now, mind you, what happened with me was, and we kind of was along the same line. I wrote my 2-week resignation letter April 5th. I didn't date it though. I just wrote a generic letter. I didn't date. I didn't put the 2-week notice date and none of that in there. And I went on vacation. My birthday, April 24th. And when I came back from vacation, I was like, the universe been telling me to leave. Let me go ahead and date this letter and send it to these people.
Right, for real.
Now, mind you, I didn't know. Now, I'm making $30 an hour, which to you being in the NFL, that ain't nothing.
Hey, money is money. Money is money.
But, and I walk away. Like, what I still to this day, some days be like, what was I thinking?
Yeah, I'll be like that too. But like I said, when you got shit on your mind, you gotta go make something happen. It's like,
yeah.
So can't even think about that no more. It's moving forward. What's next? Right.
So now let's talk about these cars. Now I see you every day because I follow all your pages. Talk about these cars. You got quite a few cars in your collection for sale. You want to put your other pages on the type of man, and I will pin them at the bottom of the screen.
Okay.
So people, because we got these car people in here, and they probably always looking for their next project.
All right, I'm gonna do both of them right quick. I'm gonna do it.
And you located in Houston, Texas, right?
Yes, ma'am. I'm in Houston, Texas.
So do you work with transporters? Like, so if they up this way and they want to buy something you have?
Yeah, I done got calls from Jacksonville. I done shipped cars all over the country. Like, it's about that choke, we can make it happen. What it is.
Hey, I seen a G-Body on there the other day.
On what?
On your page.
It depends on which one. I be running through them cars so much. I used to let them sit for a while, but now that I done flipped the switch from being a hobby and just fucking around with them to now trying to turn it into build a reputable business. It's like I can't afford to have nothing sitting for too long. It got to go. Even if it ain't finished, if it can't get finished in time, it got to go.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and I seen a G-Body earlier today too.
Oh.
Yeah. They don't be trying to sell stuff sometimes. You know how
Look, she's talking about a G-Body. Let me see. See, these G-Body folks, I live in Atlanta now, but I'm from Florida, Jacksonville. So G-Bodies are dunks, send them my way. I'm always going to repost them because somebody going to come your way.
Oh, yeah, I know which one you're talking about. You talking about the one I just posted recently, the gray one, the 81. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just got rid of that like a few days ago. Shout out to the
God, be more careful. You sure ain't keep it too long.
Nah, I ain't having that while. I got it running. Got that mug on the road, and I ended up putting way too much money into it. That's what kind of like deterred me from going all the way through with as far as getting it painted and this and that. It's just like, because if it don't make sense financially and time-wise, it's going to go right then and there.
Right. So, do you ever come across any Grand Nationals? Because I sure have been looking for one of them.
All right. A quick story. So, like you said, you be seeing my story sometime. So what I do is, because a lot of people ask me, they be like, man, how you be finding these cars or this and that? And it's like, it really don't be on purpose, it be on accident. So say, for instance, if I got to go pick my kids up from school or do something else, if I got some extra time, I'll ride around the neighborhood or wherever we at across town or something, or even out of town, I'll ride through the neighborhood, and sometimes I get lucky and I find some stuff. But the other day, I was riding in the neighborhood, and it was a car in the yard under a cover. I couldn't really tell what it was. I thought it was either a Mustang or a Monte Carlo. So my thing is, sometimes I knock on the door, people will be home, they'll answer. Sometimes they'll just look at your ass through the window and close the blinds. That happened to me before too. But regardless, if I'm depending on how I feel, I'll leave a note. You feel me? So I left a note in the mailbox, and the people had hate me back because, like I said, I didn't know what was under the cover. I just knew like shit, that might be something I'm interested in. So I hit the people back, and they was like, "Well, what do you think is under the cover?" And I was like, "Well, it looks like a Monte Carlo or maybe a Mustang GT." And they was like, "Well, it's a Grand National." And I was like, "Damn, I know for a fact they either not gonna sell it or they gonna want too much money for that shit."
Oh my God!
I went through with it like, man, well, is it for sale? What do you want for it? They just like, oh no, hell no, it's not for sale. But that was my quick little story on finding a doggone whatchamacallit the other day.
Man, listen, I really, really want one of them. After I'm done, I got an '86 T-top coming. I'm just the motor and trans ready at one shop. I'm waiting on the painted body to be done at one shop. Then it got to go up, and then it got to go up to Carolina to stitch by Slick. That's when I'm driving it away from there. So,
right. I think I seen that page. I think I might have followed that page.
Yeah, he just actually recently done a car for Snoop Dogg. Okay. And he does a lot of Carlos Miller cars. Like he does a lot of people cars. Like he doesn't just do celebrity cars. He does. I hate to frame it as regular people, but you know what I'm saying. Like he does. You ain't got to just be a celebrity to get in and get your stuff done with.
I mean, that's how they build. They clientele up anyway. You got to start with the people that's fucking with you. Then somehow a celebrity might see some shit, then they'll come and that'll up your business. But you never can't fucking neglect your base customers and shit.
Right. So now, if they want to get in contact with you to purchase one of those beautiful cars you got, or in the future one of those beautiful cars you have, what do they need to do? Just hit you up on one of these pages here.
They can hit those pages, my personal page. I'm online all day looking for cars, so I always check my messages and things like that because people send me cars a lot of times too to check out and stuff. So I'm always active, in my inbox. So somebody hit me, I'm gonna see it more than likely.
So talk to us about what's next for you. I know you still have volume 2 of this book coming. What else you got going?
Well, I have the children's book that's in the works right now. That should be, hopefully that's out before the end of the year. Cause like I said, it should have been out, but we just gotta get some things ironed out with it as far as just the illustration and stuff. But I'm actually working on a cookbook. A lot of people, right. A lot of
you cook.
I can cook my ass off.
Well, you know what? What we should ask is what don't you do instead of what do you do?
It's funny because when I do post on new people, like, God damn, what can't you do? And it's just like, shit, really? I don't know. I'm going to try everything. I'm one of those people that feel like I could do anything if I put my mind to it, if I try hard enough, if I fucking study enough, figure things out. But the only thing I can't do is give up. That's the main thing I can't do. I ain't never quitting. I ain't never giving up.
That was a great answer. I have another question. So, when you leave here, when you're no longer here, what do you want your legacy to be?
You want like a former answer or
No, I want you to just give me your answer.
Like a Dubai. You better hush, dog over there. Neighbor dog barking and shit. I want my legacy to be just, I was a real dude. First and foremost, a loving, caring person that'll do anything for anybody that I love type of deal. Hard worker, smart. What else? That's my biggest thing. Just being a loving, caring, authentic person. Because at the end of the day, none of this other shit matters. For real. But that's just how I want to be remembered. It don't matter about none of the other shit.
Do you think people misconstrue that you're actually a loving, caring person because of your exterior or your demeanor?
I think so. I get a lot of misperceptions about myself, whether it be from the internet or just somebody might see me out and about somewhere, and then they finally get a chance to sit down and talk to me or whatever, and they be like, damn, you way different than what I thought you was gonna be. But that doesn't bother me because I look at it like in a situation, whatever situation you see me in, whatever you take from that situation, that's fine. Because if we don't get to a point where you're going to see the different facets of my character, that shit don't matter anyway. That means you ain't matter enough to my life to see the different sides of me. So I don't be caring about that. People going to think whatever they want to think about you anyway.
Well, it's the game face. You probably walk around, a lot of men of color, y'all just, in life, y'all just always had to walk around with y'all game face on. So a lot of y'all don't even know that you putting your game face on. You just doing it.
Yeah, and see, the thing is, like, I'm a silly dude. I love to laugh. I play all day. But the thing is, I could play with a straight face. So, like, if it comes to a stranger,
you dangerous.
Right, they might not even know I'm playing because my face is, I'm straight with it. And so they thinking I'm serious, but I play all day. That's one thing. Anybody who know me know that.
So what would you like for your fans, followers, supporters, I guess, hell, even your haters to know about you?
Fucking hater cuz. But nah, what I want them to know about me? Shit, really just know I'm working. I'm on the grind every day. Every day I'm figuring out something new. I don't plan on letting up no time soon or ever, really. So, if they support me, I definitely appreciate that support. That shit motivates me. It keeps me going on some of the hard days. It keeps me going on every day, but the hard days especially. But I just want them to know I see them and I appreciate them, and it helps.
You even appreciate the haters?
In fact, I don't pay no attention to it, but I don't even look at it as haters because, especially like the internet stuff, people gonna find something to say about anything. I see
the internet is undefeated.
Right, I get online. Like, I don't really watch much sports and shit, but I get online and I see like some highlights or something. It's people be talking shit about LeBron James, which is probably arguably the greatest basketball player ever. So it's like, if they could talk down on him, it's like, bro, they could say shit about anybody. So I just take all that with a grain of salt. That shit don't even matter.
Right. So you said we'll know. I guess the next book, the second book in this series should be coming out sometime soon, right?
So what month this is? Yeah, I really don't keep up with the time and date because I can do whatever I do on any day. But
I know that's right.
You said it's what? September?
Yeah.
Okay. So hopefully before the end of the year, maybe in a few months.
And then the cookbook?
The cookbook, that's something that's going to take. It's a process with that because I want it to be, not saying that the other books are not solid and great and shit like that, but it's like I want this cookbook to be so special. So it's like I take my time with everything regardless, but it's like it's a process with this shit. So I'm just little by little till we get to the point where it's like, all right, now we can do some of the heavy lifting. Because even to piggyback off of that, people always be like, man, you need to get on YouTube's and make a page and all this and that. And I ended up making one for the cooking and stuff, even the cars, but with this internet stuff, it'd be hard to do all that stuff, like just post here, post that, post that. It's like that shit get exhausting a little bit. Right. But I will say this: when the cooking book is ready to be released, that's when I'm gonna start like working on my like little cooking podcast type of scenario on YouTube. So all that stuff will be dropping around the same time. That's why it's gonna take a little minute. So I can't even put a timeline on it. But I'm one of them people. I'm gonna take my time, but when the shit ready, it's time to get it done.
So tell people where they can find the books. I've been reading this one. I gotta say, y'all know I'm all about positivity. I'm all about affirmation and speaking things into the universe. So I really love this one. Y'all know I love the classic cars. So it's a classic car coloring book. Are you gonna do another one?
I plan to. Probably a little in the future. I just want to let that one twerk for a little minute. But
okay. And then
I plan on making that a full series, the whole little Zilla series. Like I said, the next book is in the works, and that tackles gun safety and awareness and stuff like that. So especially with those books, I want them all to have an underlying message, especially for the kids and just family in general. Because I have kids myself. Even if I didn't have kids, it's important to relay those messages to the children. But,
so tell everybody where they can find your books.
Oh yeah, see, I be getting off topic shit. I was on something else. But of course, for sure, all of them are on Amazon. I like to keep a lot of them on hand as well because, you know, I'll be having people in town that fuck with me. They'll come. You know, I'll meet them and sign them and give it to them.
Yeah, I need mine signed. I need all mine signed.
Just let me know if I don't come to Jacksonville, or you can send them to me and I'll sign them and stuff like that because, like I said, I like to keep a lot of them on hand because people will reach out to me. You know, sometimes they don't want to go through Amazon. A lot of people don't like Amazon. So they'll reach out to me and like, you know, can you send me some of your books? And I will do that. Write a message in it, make it personal and shit. Because that's how I would want it done for me. But Amazon or me, I'm a chopper. They can get it out the trunk, you feel me?
That come from you. That come from your NFL days of signing them autographs. You still got your marker on hand. Signing out.
Gotta keep that because honestly, the things that I'm doing now, as far as just building a legacy and just working on myself and being the best version of myself that I can be, those books and shit, those books and things, they mean more to me. Those things mean more to me than playing in the NFL because that's something. Not saying the NFL wasn't personal, but that's something personal. And I'm showing my versatility, showing that I really got some sense in my head and that I can make things happen off the field.
Right. Well, I gotta say, it's been a pleasure speaking with you today. I learned a lot. I'm waiting for the cookbook.
Oh, facts. You gonna come on my show when I shoot my show? You gonna come on that thing?
I'm ready because I'll be in Houston March of next year for sure. I know they're having what's called a box extravaganza. I love to go to a black tie event surrounded by box Chevys.
Ooh,
so
that thing too.
So yeah, I'll be there. Yeah, it's in Houston.
I'm gonna have to get me a box ready.
Okay, well you do that. You got time.
Facts.
So thank you so much for sitting down with us today. I really appreciate you doing that. Everybody, if you guys are not following him on his personal page and also his 2 pages pinned at the bottom, please go do that now. And yeah, I appreciate you joining us today.
Oh, I appreciate it. I appreciate you reaching out. For one, I'm biased when it comes to Jacksonville, so I love everything. Anybody from Jacksonville, Duval County, so I'm gonna show love regardless. That's just how I am. But I wish you nothing but the best and good luck with everything. I know, like you said, you were scared about your journey of quitting that job, but it's all gonna work out. You already
it's only up from here. See the job cap you out on how much you can make. But guess what? When you're working for yourself and when you got God, ain't no cap.
Ain't no cap to that choke. That's limitless.
Right.
It's limitless.
So thank you. I appreciate you joining us today.
Oh, no problem. I appreciate it.
All right. Thank you.
All right, well, I'm done.